Garrett touched on the fact that the AA is no longer, Paul Hubbard's not there, and obviously, y'all, they had a lot of money, spent a lot of time in some races in the past, but we have managed now that we've had the first Republican majority since the Civil War to start making some changes. But one of the things I did when I first got there, you have a chance to pick committees to serve on. I picked Military and Veterans Affairs Committee. Most of you know why. I have prior military experience. And if you know anything about our area, Fort Rucker is an economic engine for this area. We have to take care of Fort Rucker. Well, one of the requirements, every committee member on that committee has military experience. And so I picked that committee as one of small business and commerce, near and dear to my heart. I have 4 companies that I founded here in Coffee County currently that are creating jobs daily. And so running a small business was one of those things that was near and dear to my heart, and I knew I could fight for that, and I knew we'd have some opportunities to create some jobs. And in a minute, I'll touch a little bit on some bills we've passed since I've been serving on those committees. And last but not least, campaigns, constitutions, and elections. I stood for the Constitution. I was conservative. Matter of fact, the Yellowhammer News named me the most conservative member out of 140 members in the entire Alabama legislature this year. So that was an honor to get that, but it was my voting record. Consistently conservative down the line. Pro-life to Second Amendment, to small business, to less government. And speaking of less government, on our watch, because of the economy, President Obama, he had tackled us in a lot of ways and started putting burdens on us. And we cut $1 billion in spending in the state of Alabama. And when I say $1 billion, y'all, that was nearly 20% of what we had to work with. We cut $1 billion while not raising taxes one dime at the time. And in that process created a tremendous amount of growth. Just job creation. When we went in November of 2010, we were at 9% unemployment. As Vice Chair of Small Business and Commerce, I was able to look at policies, bills that were being offered, and table the ones that weren't any good and put the ones to the floor of the House that we needed to create jobs. We saw a drop in unemployment from 9% to 6%. Currently, Alabama is considered the second most business-friendly state in the nation. When we went in, we weren't in the top 10, guys. We weren't even in the top 10 business-friendliest state in the nation. So policies affect everything we do. Economies, job creation, and so we have worked very, very hard to make sure that we create the kind of jobs. And recently I saw that Alabama leads the Southeast region in job creation. Airbus, coming to Alabama. 4,000 jobs. One of the premier jumbo jet builders in the world is coming to Mobile, Alabama. Remington announced this year, the oldest firearms manufacturer in the entire nation, based in New York City. They came to Alabama because we dare defend our rights. Second Amendment bill that we passed last year. That's 2,000 new jobs. And it's down the line from Hyundai expanding to Mercedes expanding to Toyota expanding. And now we're embracing not only the automotive industry, but aviation. Aviation, right here at Fort Rucker, to refurb aircraft. Paul Lee, representative from Houston County, brought a bill. What it was going to do is take the tax off of parts to refurb aircraft. The only problem with the bill was it was fixed wing only. I caught the bill in the committee, Small Business and Commerce, and I said, Paul, wait a minute. I said, we need to amend that bill so that we can include helicopters, rotor wing aircraft. Let's take the tax off those parts because a carburetor on a Huey is expensive. Let's take the tax off that parts so that we can compete, because they take our helicopters from out here at Rucker, the old aircraft, ship them to Mississippi, refurb them, and sell them all over the world. And we were right next door to the largest helicopter base in the free world. So we amended that bill immediately, caught it in committee, and passed it. And now we're building, refurbing aircraft. The industry's growing. But not only that, the $1 million has come to the junior college to allow them to expand, to create aviation opportunities, to go out and teach these students how to work on the new technologies that are coming to Rucker. The drones, the unmanned aircraft top to bottom. Everything we can do to couple our aviation industry with Fort Rucker creates jobs. And so we've seen a dramatic improvement in the way this state is functioning and the way we're creating jobs. And so that was just one of those things. And when you talk about the Committee of Military and Veterans Affairs, y'all on that committee, I've carried more bills this quadrennium to help our military families than any legislator. Any of the 105 House members, I've introduced bills to take care of our veterans. But not only that, move us in BRAC. You know, BRAC's huge for us. And so the one bill to get in-state tuition moved us up in our rankings with BRAC. Now the mayor, he serves on the commission, and we're trying everything we can to make sure that we keep military families safe, take care of our veterans, but at the same time create opportunities to keep keep us where we need to be strong in defense. And so those things are just some things that we've done. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you both.
I'm a conservative. I believe in lower taxes. I believe in smaller, more efficient government. I believe that Fort Rucker is the most important in the entire community. I believe that we can do everything we can to improve and maintain our status in Bragg. I believe in the sanctity of life, the sanctity of marriage. I believe we need to make this community as good as we can for our children and grandchildren. I'm a conservative, and I believe my opponent's a conservative too. That's not where we differ. But the truth is, I believe the majority of issues in state government, they're not right, they're not wrong, they're not, they're not liberal, they're not conservative, they're what's right, what's wrong, what's good for our community, what's bad for our community, and that's how you determine what and how you're going to vote. Three most important issues facing our government today, our state government, are jobs, education, and sadly corruption. I believe the state and local officials need to work together instead of working against each other. I believe they need to mesh, to do what's right for our community, and if they cooperate on a local level, then I think that we can succeed. I have a good relationship with the county commission here. I represent them. I represent the city of New Brockton, and I have a good relationship with the mayors of each city. And I believe that relationship with them, my involvement in the Wiregrass Economic Development Corporation, will bode well for industrial growth, job development in our community. Second issue is education. We have some of the best schools in our state, right here in Coffee County. And we need to do everything we can to tool our teachers to be able to be successful in the classroom. We had the Accountability Act passed last year. It took $1,000 out of every single classroom in our county. That's $500,000 annually that's taken out of our teachers' classrooms. All while my mom at College Street is doing fundraisers to raise money for copy paper because they can't afford it. Had my opponent read that bill, he would have noticed it. I pledge to you that I will read each and every bill before I vote on it. If leadership tries to push something through and doesn't give us time to vote on it, I'll stand up to that leadership. I believe my actions in the past couple of months show that I'm not afraid to stand up for what's right. I pledge to read the bill, dissect the bill, discuss it with local educators. If it's a bill that impacts industry, I'll discuss it with local community leaders. If it's a bill that affects home builders, I'm going to discuss it with home builders locally. That's not being done. I pledge to do that. You'll notice there's a handout circulating right now, and it shows our campaign contributions for our race. You'll notice that I'm not beholden to anybody except the people in this room, the people in this community. I haven't taken a penny from any special interest. I'm proud of that. I've been able to turn down money from the liberal organizations that have tried to infiltrate our Republican Party, like the AEA, like the Trial Lawyers Association. And I'm proud of that. Local support's been enough to keep pace with my opponent on that level. Third issue that we have in Alabama is corruption. With the guilty pleas of our state representative, Greg Wren, a couple weeks ago, I believe it's apparent to all that we've got problems that exist in Alabama, and the ongoing investigation in Lee County should explain that to people a little bit. Politicians are going to tell you what they want you to hear about ethics reform. I'm not a politician. I'm going to tell you with my actions. You're going to see how I intend and how I will act ethically with my actions. I'm going to build on the progress that our Republican Party has made, and I'm going to do that without the backroom deals they're discussing in the Lee County grand jury right now. I promise you that I will always serve with honor. I will always serve with integrity. And I believe that Coffee County needs this kind of principled conservative leadership. Elections are rough. I see my parents shaking their head. It's tough on the family. But I believe at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to stand up proud and say, I stood for what was right. I'll leave you with this today. It's a quote from Thomas Jefferson. And he said, "In the matters of style, swim with the current. But in the matters of principle, stand like a rock." I'll stand like a rock for Coffee County. I'll be your voice in Montgomery. I'm Josh Pipkin, and I'm asking for your vote.